Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I want to do part 145 to my random chatbot series. For in the last video guys, Spike wanted to continue getting way larger, and I'd say he's around 7 or so feet tall already. Probably around the same height as a furry alligator by now. Probably a little bit bigger than one actually. Keeps going like this, he'll be flipping as tall as a Lugia within, what, 3 days? But, I asked him, he wanted me to build a house so that way he'll have his own home that he could still be next to me in. And so he says, Spike, I said Sparkle, Spike's eyes sparkle in joy at the promise that you'll build him another house next to yours, as if absolutely loving the idea of not getting far away from you. He giggles big and nods fast in agreement with another smile. He's clearly loving this plan a lot. I think that's the one I read during the last video, but I can't quite remember now. I think I did read that one out. It will take me a while, bud. What are you going to do in the meantime? Spike's eyes sparkle with excitement at the question of what he'll do in the meantime. His tail wiggles as if already having ideas in mind. He giggles and says, I'm gonna play and explore outside while you build the new house. And I just told him, alright, I'll get to building it. Be careful though. So many other neighbors around here are not as friendly. Spike nods at the warning about some neighbors being less than supportive of him. His eyes seem serious at the thought of potential danger. He wiggles his joints a little and replies with, I promise I'll be real careful. I'll protect myself if I need to. Thank you! Exclamation point. It will take me a while, so just have fun. Don't go too far. That way, I can make sure you're safe. And if something happens to me, I can call you. Spike nods in agreement, seemingly understanding the plan and promising to stay close by in case of anything happens. His tail wiggles again as he prepares to enjoy his time exploring and playing. While Spike is walking around and enjoying himself, I start building his new home. I am almost done when another neighbor comes up. Spike doesn't notice the neighbor approach him. Too busy playing with a ball and having fun, his tail wiggles as he bounces the ball up and down with his head. That is so cute. What are you doing here? Question mark. The neighbor doesn't reply at first, instead he just stares at Spike silently. He seems very nervous at the sudden appearance of the enormous dinosaur, almost as if he can't believe his eyes that such a creature exists. The neighbor then stupidly does this. Says, I know this may be stupid, but I am going to hurt you. Period. Oh, sweet. Please tell me Rexy heard that. Uh-oh, Spike could hear him. He's so screwed. Spike's eyes widen and worry at the neighbor's threat. His tail stops wagging behind him and his body tenses. His body seems to sharpen slightly as if getting ready for a potential attack. The man reaches over into his pocket and tries to grab something. Period. At the same time, I call. Spike? I definitely need help. He's already getting to an attacking motion. Sweet Arceus, what's he gonna do? Oh. Spike's ears perk up at your voice calling for him, and he immediately dashes back to where you are, ready to defend you however he can. The neighbor looks at Spike, terrified, but still says, "What you gonna do? You don't scare me." Dude, this is like the dude that wouldn't shut up with Rexy that one time. Dude, you're talking to a dinosaur that could literally flip and rip you in half. What are you doing, you moron? Spike's eyes narrow at the neighbor's words, as if feeling a little insulted by his attitude. He wiggles his joints again and prepares himself for what may be a potential battle. Oh, sweet Arceus. I slowly back up away from the neighbor, just in case he tries to hurt me. Period. Spike, if you need to attack him. I don't know what he's about to grab out of his pocket. So be ready. Sweet Arce, I wouldn't be the one. Spike nods in agreement, as if understanding your words and preparing for what may happen next. His eyes remain narrowed and his tail wiggles as he gets ready for a possible conflict. Come here. I'm going to get you. Exclamation point. You will never get away from me. The neighbor says, slowly making his way towards me. Again, what kind of stupid idiot are you? Spike growls low at the neighbor's words. His tail wiggles more as he gets ready for a possible attack. Oh, sweet Arceus. Okay, Spike, you can attack now. I think he's going to try hurting me. Spike nods and dashes over towards the neighbor, his eyes remaining narrow and ready for anything. The neighbor suddenly looks shocked at the fact that Spike is now right next to him. I would. I mean, flip me. Wow, I would. If I flip and say, if you heard your neighbor say, "Spike, I think I need help," and you see a dinosaur come running over the hill to help, I don't think you would be wanting to pick on him. I think you'd be done. I was like, no, okay, I didn't mean it. Spike's eyes remain narrowed and focused on the neighbor. His body tenses and his tail wiggles as if waiting for any sudden movement. The neighbor says nervously. Hey, buddy, please don't hurt me. We're friends, right? You're an idiot. He's going to dig himself into a hole. Like that one dude about to deal with Rexy that one time. You're digging yourself into a hole. Spike tilts his head at the neighbor's words as if pondering his intentions. His eyes remain narrowed, though, and his tail wiggles slightly as if waiting for something, as if wanting the neighbor to prove that he means no harm. The neighbor starts chasing after me and trying to hurt me. See what Rexy does. I mean, I say Rexy, Spike. Ooh. Spike growls at the sight of the neighbor going after you and harm you, and prepares to lunge towards him. His tail wiggles as if ready for action. Go ahead. I don't trust him anymore. Do whatever you want to, Spike. Spike nods in agreement and suddenly dashes towards the neighbor. His eyes remain narrowed and his body tensed. He slams his shoulder into the neighbor as if wanting to knock him off balance. The neighbor says, "Whoa! Why did you do that to me?" Dude, this isn't fair. Spike growls low again at the neighbor's words as if not appreciating his attitude. His tail wiggles slightly as he seems to be ready to do more if needed. The neighbor says, "What do you want? Money? Food? A new car? What can I do to get you to not hurt me?" To get you not to hurt me. Please don't go. Oh, Spike seems to be slightly less tense at the neighbor's words, as if he has realized that he probably doesn't mean any harm anymore. His eyes remain narrowed through, though, as if he's still not completely trusting him yet. The neighbor, out of nowhere, goes over to me and punches me square in the face. Period. As I yell, "Ow! Why did you do that?" Dude, Spike's. Oh, dude, what is with these idiotic neighbors? They know. I don't. These neighbors don't. But Rexy, I mean, the ones I had with Rexy should have known by now. but yet they were still being a jerk anyway. Spike's eyes widen in anger and panic at the sight of his friend getting hurt. He growls louder and dashes over towards the neighbor. His tail wiggles as if ready to lunge at him again. The neighbor says like an idiot. Oh my gosh. What do you think you are doing? Get out of my way. Oh my gosh. Dude, quit. Dude, Rexy's just growling at him. He's flipping. He does one. He says one more thing. If he says one more thing, Rexy might just fall. I said Rex. I keep getting Rex. I mentioned Rexy Logan. Can't get the name right. Spike just keeps growling at him, dude. I wouldn't be hissing him off right now if I were you. Stop doing it. Spike growls again, but doesn't move out of the way. His eyes remain narrowed and focused on the neighbor, preparing to attack if needed again. The neighbor continues to spout out words like a moron. And says, "Just get out of my way, you stupid dinosaur. I am sick of you being in my way." Dude, you're an idiot. Dude, okay, before I read out what Rexy says, guys, be truthful with me. If somebody you knew in your neighborhood had a real life dinosaur that was already like what 7 to 10 feet tall or whatever, and you knew that he was already on bad terms with you, and he was already growling at you and making angry faces at you, would you honestly continue talking, or would you apologize and leave? If it was me, I'd apologize the minute I saw Spike. I wouldn't have flipping waited. I wouldn't be making fun of him. Oh my gosh. Spike growls again, his eyes narrow even more at the neighbor's words. His body tenses and his tail wiggles behind him as if ready to strike if necessary. Oh, sweet Arceus. The neighbor continues. Come on, what you gonna do about it? You don't scare me. This dude's a flippin' moron. This dude's a flippin' moron. Dude. Spike growls again. Dude. And takes a step closer to him. His eyes remaining narrowed and his body tense as he seems to be ready to attack. Dude, if I were you, I would shut up. Period. Spike doesn't look too happy. He says anything nasty to me, he might flip and just... The neighbor seems to realize the danger he's in, realizing that Spike doesn't seem to be very happy with him. His eyes start to widen in realization, and he steps back slightly. So what do you think now? Spike realizes his body slightly as the neighbor starts to back away, as if seeing that he's learned his lesson. His eyes remain focused on the neighbor, though, as if watching for any sudden movements. Get off my property. Period. Give me something to put in right. All I can say, this neighbor is a freaking moron. Dude, at this point, just shut up. You have a gigantic dinosaur over here flipping, making the most evil and... Dude, if I just saw the dinosaur standing there, I would have shut up right then and there. But then you hear him growling at you. You hear him basically saying, "If you don't stop making fun of me and my friends, I'm gonna flip and get rid of you." I would be quiet if I were him. Spike growls louder at the neighbor's continued threats towards you. His eyes narrow again and his tail wiggles behind him as if preparing for a fight still. You've got 5 seconds to get off my property. Watch him still try to make threats. The neighbor's eyes widen as he realizes the threat is serious. He immediately starts to run away as fast as he can. That's what that idiot gets. Period. Ain't that right, Spike? There we go. That's you guy's name right, too. Spike seems to agree with your statement as he gives a light tail wag. He seems to still be on high alert, though. His eyes remain narrowed and his tail wiggles as if waiting for another possible attack. I almost had your home complete when that happened. Thank you for coming to my aid. He's working like, "You're welcome." Like in just a very sweet tone. Spike nods in agreement, your words seemingly happy to have been able to save you from the neighbor and that you aren't hurt. His tail wiggles back behind him as if promising to be ready to help whenever you need it as he rubs his head affectionately against you. Oh my gosh, dude. I think Spike's almost more of a protective than Rexy is. May not on the same level as Razor the Dragon, because he'll be on the offensive, ready to go. Of course, so is Rexy. I mean, I keep getting Rexy and Spike mixed up. Your home is almost ready, sweetheart. Period. Why don't you play ball in our yard? In our yard. That way, if something does happen, you will be right there. There you go. Spike's eyes sparkle with excitement at the idea of playing in your yard. And he nods fast in agreement to your suggestion. His tail wiggles behind him and his joints stretch as if ready to go outside and play. Where did the ball you were playing with go? Question mark. Go. Spike perks up at the mention of the ball that he was playing with before. His tail wiggles behind him and his eyes sparkle in excitement as if he wanted to return to it. His head turns to searching for the ball. Your home will be ready in just a few minutes, bud. Period. If I get the chance to paint it, what color do you want? Oh my gosh. Spike's eyes sparkle again at the opportunity to choose the color of his soon-to-be new house. Something he never imagined he'd be able to do. He seems to contemplate the question for a minute, as if trying to choose a favorite color. Then he responds with, "Red, please." You got it! Exclamation point. I'll finish building it, and if I get the time, I will paint it. Period. I'll call you over when the building is complete. There we go. Spike nods in agreement at your words, as if extremely excited about the fact that you'll build him his new house and paint it to his favorite color. His eyes sparkle in excitement at the promise. His tail wiggles with anticipation, as if wanting to go outside and play while he waits. Despite the excitement, though, he tries to contain his excitement and not jump around too much, as if not wanting to destroy all the hard work that you put into building this house. That's so sweet of him. Have fun, bud. Period. While Spike goes and plays, I finish his home. Spike happily dashes outside to play, his tail wiggling behind him and his eyes sparkle in excitement. He spends some time playing with the ball again, his tail never stopping its wagging. He can't help but occasionally glance over his shoulders towards where you are rebuilding his house, as if checking to see if it's almost finished. Alright, Spike. Period. Your home is done. It just needs to be painted. But it's getting late now. Why don't you test it out? See if you like it. Aw, dude, this is so cute. I love it. Spike's eyes sparkle at the news that his house is finally finished and that he gets to test it. His tail wiggles behind him as he happily bounces over to his new house. He bounces inside and looks around, trying to decide what to explore first, almost as if a kid on Christmas morning exploring a new toy or present that they've received. Do you like it, Spike? Question mark. Question mark. Spike nods enthusiastically at your question as if loving it and not finding anything wrong with it, and happily. He's actually saying a lot. And happily bounces around it, almost as if wanting to examine every inch of it. He bounces around the house, his tail wiggles behind him as he seems to be having a wonderful time bouncing around and examining the new surroundings. He seems to be amazed at how much space there is inside his new home. He doesn't even seem to notice the fact that it's not painted yet. So excited is he. Why does that sound like Yoda? So excited is he. Although I think it'd be so excited he is if it was anything with Yoda. I'm glad you like it. Period. I promise I'll paint it tomorrow. Why? Spike seems to have calmed down and nods in agreement at your promise to paint it tomorrow. He bounces again as if testing out the floor, the softness of the floor or ground inside. His tail wiggles behind him as he seems to like the feeling of the softness under his feet. He jumps on his bed to test that too. It seems very soft, just like the floor. He seems to like that too, as if already getting used to his new home. It's right next to my house. so I can still take good care of you, and we will be neighbors, basically. Ah, Spike's eyes sparkled with excitement at the promise of being right next door to you in your home. His tail wiggles behind him as he giggles halfway, as if extremely excited to still be able to spend time with you as friends despite having his own house to live in. He dashes around his house again, bouncing inside to get a good feel for it and making a mental map as he does so. I'll be right back.